Hi everyone, welcome to this third session on modern JavaScript. So till now we have covered about like how the basics of JavaScript, like how do we declare variables in JavaScript, and in the next session we tried to interact with our DOM using JavaScript, right? So the two basic things are covered. Now we'll move on to a little bit of enhanced JavaScript, so this will be advanced JavaScript basically. Okay, so what we'll be covering in this particular session is basically more about arrays, objects, what are the like higher order functions such as map, filter, reduce, and then what are rest operators, spread operators, the dollar syntax, and then the fetch function that is available to call the UI, call the APIs. So at the last of the session we'll be able to create a very interactive application, that is an application to fetch the weather, okay, by calling an API. So I hope you will enjoy the session. So let's quickly jump onto the code and start with it. So I'll just open the website we were working on. So this was our website. So let's go back to VS Code and start with it. So till now we have covered till here. So let me just comment out the entire code and start below it. Okay, so by now you might have understood like what are functions, right? So simple, we were creating function like this function do something. Okay, so it was doing something, let's say just simply logging something onto the console. So console.log hello world. Okay, we were doing this, right? So now comes the concept of arrow functions. So this was a like normal function. So similarly we can create arrow functions. So arrow functions are created like do something is equal to, so it's only a syntax difference. So what happens is you open close round brackets followed by equal to and then greater than braces and then open and closing curly braces. So this will be exact similar of your normal function. So it will do same thing, hello world. Okay, so this these two functions are exactly the same, no difference. Okay, so do something, I'll call it do something one, I'll call it do something two. Okay, so I'll just call both of them now. So we have declared, now we have to call them also, right? So do something one, do something two. Okay, calling both of them. Okay, so that's it. Now let's quickly go back to our web page and check. So I just used it. Let's go to console. So you see hello world, hello world. So you like hello world, you can just to see the difference which one is coming from which. So 1 and 2 I have added over here. So you might see hello world 1, hello world 2. So this is the way to create arrow functions. Okay, so I think you guys might have understood. It's nothing like here you are simply declaring function do something and opening and closing braces, but here you are putting it into a variable. A function is a variable and it is followed by this syntax, equal to opening closing braces, equal to greater than and inside parentheses. So if you want to have some parameters, no, you can declare over here. So like this it works. This is your arrow function. So this is nothing much, so that I have covered. So now quickly move to spread operators. So before that, let me just okay, so before proceeding to rest and spread operators, first let me discuss another thing, that is your dollar syntax too, which is known as template literals. So let's say I have some variable, let my number is equal to let's say 1 to 9. Okay, so now let's say I need to access it or I need to display it somewhere. So I can make use of console.log uh, my number is plus followed by like this can be done over here itself, dollar. So this will come inside backticks. So backtick this, backtick opens, backtick closes, and here I'll say my number. So now in this way you will be able to write both string as well as variable inside a single statement. Okay, so now you see using this method, if I refresh, my number is 129 is visible over here, right? So if not this way, you might have to use the double quote syntax, right? But in double quote syntax, you know that this is not allowed. Then you might have to do it this way, right? So this was another way, right, to do it. So either you can do it this way, otherwise you can do it in this way. So this is one of the way to access variables in JavaScript. Okay, so using this dollar followed by brackets and inside the variable. So this is very useful. This comes in very useful while calling APIs and all. So please make sure to remember it. Okay, so this was one thing. Then let's come to another thing, that is like working on objects, the REST operators, spread operators, and destructuring of objects. So let's say we have an object const obj is equal to name. I have given Rahul. Then again I'll give age, let's say 21. Okay, then I'll give gender, male. Okay, so and then let's say hobby is tennis. Okay, so this is an object. Okay, so let's say I want to like get these fields. So instead, like one way to get these fields is const name is equal to obj dot name, right? I told you about this in the first class of modern JS. Const name const age is equal to obj dot age, right? Const gender is equal to obj dot gender. So this is one way. Okay, so like, but this is long, so we come up with a shortcut that is known as destructuring. So how do we do that? So const name comma age comma gender is equal to obj. Okay, that's it. I'll comment this out so this error will go away. Okay, so now if you will try to console.log name comma age comma gender, so it will give you Rahul 21 male. Let's see. So you see Rahul 21 male has come over here, right? So this is known as destructuring an object. Okay, so this one thing, this was one thing. So I'll just structuring. Okay, okay, then comes spread operator. Okay, so let's say you want to copy the contents of one object into another. So let's say const obj2 is equal to, so you want to have the same contents of obj in obj2. So simply what you can do, dot 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 obj. So it will create a copy of here obj into obj2. Okay, so if you see you got that object over here, right? In obj2 we tried to print obj2 and we got the contents of obj, so we just made a copy. So this is known as spread operator. So by this you were able to spread that particular object and copy it inside this. Okay, so this was one thing. Then let's use this example onto arrays also. So const arr1 is equal to, let's say, 1 4 3, like this. Okay, so const arr2 is equal to, what I'll do when I want arr1 also, comma some values. Okay, so now if I try to lock arr2, so I'll get the values of arr1 along with 20 and 23. So let's see. So you see 1 3 4 along with 20 and 23. So this was our rest operator. Okay, so I hope this thing is clear to you guys. Okay, sorry, this was our spread operator. So rest operator is also kind of similar, like it allows you to like copy the items in a function. So let's say function abc is there, so you can use this dot 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 syntax, so it will allow you to have some values 20 and 21. Sorry, one. Like this it works. Actually I'm not able to recall it, but yes, it's similar to this, like something like this. Let's quickly check it. Actually I'm getting confused a little bit over here. test operator JavaScript. What was the difference between them? Okay, functions are all okay. Sum of all the numbers is placed as the last parameter in a function definition prefixed with this. Okay. Array name numbers. Uh, okay, in object it is used like this, you have a person object, so first name, last name, and then you can make use of dot 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 details in this while destructuring in person. So in person, when you will try to log details, na, what you will get 30 and New York. So it will remove the first name and last name, and apart from that the other two things it will give. So age and city will come into another new object, that is details. Okay, so that is how it works. Okay, so you can check more about it. So these are certain things about rest operators, spread operators in JavaScript. So now let's quickly move ahead. So the other thing that I need to have covered in this is array methods. So this is very interesting, so pay attention over here. So we have map, filter, and reduce. Map, filter, and reduce. Another one is there which is known as for each. So these are nothing but loops. So if you remember, I discussed about for loop, right, in the previous videos. So for let I is equal to 0, I is less than arr1 dot length I plus plus, right. We were able to like access all the elements, right. So console dot log arr1 at I. Okay, so if you check the logs, so you got 1 3 4 5 which were there in arr1, right. 1 3 4 5 you are getting, right. So same thing if you wish to do with another syntax, so that is arr1 dot for each. So you are applying for each on what, arr1. So for each, and inside that again the arrow functions. So arrow functions, and you write lm or any variable you can write over here. I prefer using lm. So element, okay, and then here you can simply console.log lm. Okay, fine. So it will again give you like same 1 3 4 5 same thing. So this is kind of another syntax for your for loop. Okay, so but here you do not need to like declare a new variable and do all those things, it will take care of them. But just remember, it does not return anything. Okay, it is not going to return anything. Like if you will put it into a variable, it will not return anything. Okay, so now let's move ahead. So this was about for each. Now let's come to map. So it's very similar, arr1 dot map. Okay, and lm. So here it will return you a new array. So return and I want to do some operations on each element. Let's say I want to multiply each of them by 2. So element into 2. Okay, each of them would be multiplied by 2. So let new arr is equal to this. You can put it like this, and then you can finally log console.log new arr. Okay, okay, that's it. If I save it now, if I check it now, every element would be multiplied by 2. So you see 2 6 8 10. So 1 3 4 5 we had, right. So 2 6 8 and 10. So you got a new array which is 2 6 8 and 10, right. So this is how map works. Okay, so similarly we have filter. So arr1, so I'll put it, let filtered arr is equal to arr1 dot filter. So what I want to filter, I want filtering is, you know, as you understand from the word itself, it will filter. So return lm modulus 2 equal to 0. So only the even elements it will return. Okay, so if I'll just console.log filtered arr. Okay, so I'll get only the like array elements which are divisible by 2. Okay, so let's go back over here and see. So 1 minute. I think okay, we got only 4, right. So we got an array and Sorry. Okay, so we got an array and only one element is present, which is 4. Okay, so you understood, right? Because like and its length is 1, because only out of 1 3 4 5 only 4 is divisible by 2. Okay, so if instead of this the condition would have been not equal to 0, so it will give us the odd element. So if I print it, so now we got an array with length 3 which has 1 3 and 5. So only 2 is not only 4 is not there. 1 3 4 5, only 4 is not there. 1 3 and 5 are here, right? So this gives us filtered array. So simple array dot filter and do some operations on the array elements, right? So this is done. So this is about map filter, and then comes reduce. So reduce is also, like, reduce is a little bit complicated. So actually it has two elements. So basically it works okay, let me show you. Arr1 dot reduce. So it has ACC, like it will take in two parameters, ACC and CURR. So ACC and CURR are nothing but ACC would be your final result. So let's say I want 0, like initially I put the value of ACC as 0 initially, and CURR will be your current elements. So what I'll do, if uh, Mm, ACC, I want to find the maximum element out of this array. So 1 3 4 5 is there, right? 1 3 4 5, I want to find the maximum. So 5 is the maximum, right? So I'll simply check if ACC is greater than CURR. So do what? CURR, ACC is equal to CURR. Okay, fine. So fine, that's it. And I'll put let max is equal to this. Okay, and finally I'll return ACC. Okay, and if I'll just log over here, console.log max. Okay, that's it. So let's see if we get 5 or not over here. Oh sorry, we got 0 over here. Let's see what are we doing wrong. If ACC is greater than CURR, no, ACC 0 is not greater than CURR, do nothing. Okay, sorry, it should be less than. Okay, and let's see. Okay, so we got 5 over here as the maximum element, right? So if like ACC is less than, so right, 0 is less than the first element, that is 1. So obviously it will turn to 1, and then again it would be checked, 1 is less than 3, correct? So ACC will be getting updated to 3, then 4, then 5, and finally 5 would be returned over here and we'll be getting over here. So this is about reduce. So we have covered map, filter, reduce, and for each. So we have covered the 4 higher order functions that we have for an array. Okay, so now let's move ahead. So this thing we have covered. So I think that's enough for like understanding most of the advanced JavaScript. So now let's move to a very interesting activity. Like till now we have been doing this all calculation related stuff. So now let's do something real life based. Okay, so let's say we need to call an API. So we have weather API, open weather API. Okay, so this open weather map has this API. So this is free to use. Okay, but we need to sign in over here. 1 minute. I already have an account, so let me quickly sign in. Oh, okay. Okay. So current weather data. So this is our API. So the simplest version of this is, let's copy this. But the one actually there is one which contains the location, like city name. So I'm checking for that. Let's see if I get city name. This one. Okay. So this is the one. Okay, so let me just quickly copy it over here, and 1 minute. Okay, and then also let me get my API key. So this is active. Okay, so let me just copy this. Okay, so this is my API key. You can also generate these things. Okay. Okay, so now let's quickly show you how do we call this. Okay, so let's say function get weather. I just created a function, simple function. Okay, so this would be an asynchronous function because like calling an API would take some time, right? Like since it's dependent on your network speed and all, so we need to make it asynchronous. Okay, I'll let you know what this asynchronous and all is. Let me just quickly write down. So let response is equal to await. So for each asynchronous API, we need to call it using await. So we need to tell JavaScript to wait until the API response is completed. So await, then fetch. So fetch, we need to give the URL. So our URL is nothing but this. Let URL is equal to this, and I'll put it inside. Also, one more thing. I told you about. So this is my API key. So I told you about that dollar syntax, right? So here it is where it comes in handy. App ID API key. I'm not okay. Okay, this bracket is not required, I guess. Sorry, backtick and dollar, and instead of this, I'll give API key. Okay, so my URL is now ready. So that URL I'll just pass over here. URL. Okay, so first of all, I'll try to console.log response, and I'll see what is coming in response. Okay, so I'll show you like what kind of object you get in response. So let me call this get weather function. Get weather function. Okay, I'll just call it. Okay, so let's go back and refresh this page. Okay, so we got some response, as you can see. So response has all these things. So in the response there's a body. Okay, so body again is a readable stream. So like it's again a promise, like it will take some time to come. So again, to check it, what we can do is let data is equal to await response dot data. Okay, and instead of this I'll just print data over here. So let's see. Oh, what happened? Not found. One minute. Actually, like here, I forgot to mention the city. So Q is equal to city name. Also, the city name I'll give in a city equal to, let's say, Lucknow. Okay. So here also Q is equal to, I'll put as dollar city. Okay, fine. So our URL is now ready, and let's see what we get. Okay, I am getting undefined response.json. Maybe it's coming in response.json. Let's see. Okay, so we converted into JSON and we got the proper structure. So here we have city name Lucknow, time zone is this. Inside main we get fields like humidity, pressure, sea level, temperature is this, temperature max is this, temperature min is this. Okay, and here we also get sunrise and sunset timings and all, wind, and then inside weather also we get description, haze is there, icon and all these things. Okay, so here we are able to get all these details from your API call only, right? Along with the latitude and longitude. Okay, so our API calls gives us all these things. So okay, so instead of like console.logging this data, what you can do is, like we have our website, right? We already have our running website. So let's do one thing. Here, right, instead of like here, let's make it such that when you type a city name over here and click on send, you see its temperature details over here. Okay, so let's quickly make those changes. I'm not going to create a new component for that. I'm doing it over here only. Okay, so contact email, please. So instead of email, I'll call it like input type text, placeholder, enter your city. Okay, ID, let's keep the ID as city input. Okay, and button. So on click, what was our function? Get weather, right? Get weather was our function, right? Let me check. Yeah, get weather. So get weather. One thing, let me think about it. Okay, fine. All is fine. Now let's quickly just create a, and let me just disable this and add a h1 tag that says weather in city, uh, in your city is, okay, and inside h2 I'll add h2 id is equal to dynamic. I'm giving it dynamic. Okay, okay, so now let's quickly go over here, and once this is done, so what I want to do, document dot get element by id dynamic dot inner text is equal to data, and data dot main dot temp. Okay, okay, and okay, fine. So city also I need to take this value not directly, I'll take it in as a variable. So city will be document dot get element by id. So this should happen on change, right? On change. Okay. So let's do one thing. On change, we'll do get city. Okay. So get city would be called over here, and let's define a function. Function get city. So what it will do is, let city is equal to document dot get element by id no sorry, on change is not going to do this, no. On change will directly get the event, and I need to pass event from here. Event dot target dot value. Okay, so this is your city, so this is your API key. So your URL will be URL will be this. Minute. Initially will be this. Okay, and then async function get weather. Okay, and instead of calling this get weather over here. Okay, so I think we are all set. Let's try it quickly. Okay, let's do some changes over here. Weather in your city. So BR. Why this BR is not affecting? Why is it not coming in next line? Strange. Okay, let's see. I'll type Lucknow over here. Sorry, Lucknow, and click on send. Okay, so we got some errors. Let's quickly debug it. Cannot read properties of undefined reading temp. Okay, it's coming as bad request. So I think it's not taking the correct city name. Let's quickly check. Okay. Okay, so let's debug. Let's see one by one what is getting in inside city. In our this inside city console.log city. Okay, let's see on is it like giving us the correct value or not. No, it's not. What is getting wrong over here? Let's quickly see. Get city function get city event change is equal to get city event. Hmm, what is going wrong over here? Okay, we are getting hello over here, so it should have worked. Uh, okay, Lucknow is coming over here. Then what is the issue? Q is equal to okay. Finally, okay. Sorry, I got it. So this city is coming as undefined only. So let's do one thing. Let's frame the URL here itself. Uh, that URL is equal to this. URL equal to. I'll just cut it over here, and I'll just do one thing. Okay, so one thing, like I'll move the URL over here, and URL instead of updating over here, we should update it over here, na? So once we get the city, we can update it, and API key also we need to move it from here to here. Okay, so now let's try. Now our URL should be formed in a proper way. So let's try. So let's give luck now. Okay, so let's click on send. Okay, so yeah, we got the value. So it's working now. So weather in your city is 294. So I think this is in Fahrenheit. So again, you can do some calculation and change it. And I am also not one thing sure, like why this is not changing lines. Mm, maybe like contact we have styled in such a way. Contact contact input contact justify content. Okay, display flex is there na, so yeah, obviously it won't change. So one thing we can do na, justify flex direction column. Okay, so enter your city. So let's try Kanpur now, this time Kanpur. Okay, send. So it gives this. Let's try like some city, let's say Vatican City. I'm not sure Vatican City, but okay. So Vatican City gives us this. Okay, let's try London. So in London, okay. So like this, you will get the temperatures. Okay. So again, how to convert Fahrenheit to also like here it might be actually something that you can put in the API to get the units. Okay. So units. Standard unit will be applied by default. So metric. Okay, so if I'll change the unit to mm, a metric na, it should work. Okay, so let's quickly do one thing. And unit or units, what was it? Units is equal to metric. Okay, let's try London. Okay, so you'll now be able to get it in degree Celsius. So let's try Lucknow. Okay, so Lucknow is 21, around 21. Let's try Bangalore. Okay, 23.1 in degrees Celsius. So right, so now you are able to get it right simply by adding that. So this is how we have made a simple weather API, weather app. Okay, uh, and followed by degree Celsius also. Let's put it plus degree symbol. How we can do? Let's copy it and put it over here. Celsius spelling is correct, right? Or is it Celsius or Celsius? Okay, it's SIUS. Sorry, Celsius. Okay, let's try Noida. Okay, so to 21.16 degrees Celsius. So this is how we have made this particular web app for weather testing weather. Okay, so I hope I was able to make this thing clear. It was not very typical simple. See, like I already told you about the events. So simple two functions we have made. One was to like get the name of the city. Okay, get city. Another was the function to get the weather. So get weather we are calling on clicking the button. So on click get weather. So what is get weather doing? So it's an asynchronous function. Why it's an asynchronous function? Because it is going to call an API. So API calling will take some time. So that is why we create an async function and using await keyword. So it will wait until your fetching of the like data is completed from the URL. So once the data is completed, again we need to convert it into JSON. Otherwise, we will not be able to read it. So JSON is a JavaScript object notation. So to read objects in JavaScript, we need to make use of JSON. Okay, so we'll get the data. So out of that data, we know like we were like we checked in our logs that the temperature is coming inside data.main.temperature. This is how we access the properties of an object, right? So we got the temperature and we just appended it into a we appended it dynamically into a onto our web page. Okay, using document.getElementById dynamic. Okay, fine. So that was it. So I hope you guys enjoyed these sessions on JavaScript, modern JavaScript. So I have covered almost everything that is required in modern JavaScript. So the next part actually after this comes about the modern frameworks of JavaScript such as React.js, Vue.js, Angular. So all those enables more functionality without doing all these stuff. Like all these stuff, the script stuff is mostly taken care by like the frameworks themselves. You need to just focus on writing the business logic there. Okay, so that's more interesting actually. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it and would be interested in pursuing web development more along with the higher frameworks of JavaScript. So yeah, thank you so much for joining in, and I hope to see you guys in the next bootcamp or any learning videos that we'll be having. Okay, thank you so much. Have a nice day. Bye.